It's so important that you spend the majority of your day in an undistracted state. And what I mean by that is not doing something that prevents you from thinking and literally anything right now. Like you take your phone and you go on social media, you play video games, you watch a TV show, anything that you do, any activities like that will prevent your brain from thinking about other things. It will like block your brain, right? And what I mean by that is if you spend all of those hours of every single day in a distracted state, it prevents your brain from having those life changing moments, from having those epiphanies. If you only spend all your hours like in a state of like vegetative state, it's a state that you're here, right? But you're not really thinking. Then you won't have those moments, those huge life changing moments. And this moment exactly, this situation happened to me exactly this morning. And for a couple of days, I haven't gone on a morning walk. And I usually always go on a morning walk so that I get sunlight into my eyes. And it's also a opportunity for me to just relax and think about stuff. And this is exactly what happened this morning. I went on my morning walk and I had like a huge idea because I allowed my brain some space to think. I allowed my brain to just think for itself. I was not bombarding my brain with like overstimulating things. I was not bombarding my brain with like TV shows. I just allowed my brain to think for itself. And I had a huge moment that, like, I had a huge idea that I would not have thought if I was playing video games, if I was watching TV, if I was scrolling on social media. So, this is why it's so important to allow your brain some periods of time where you can just think, right? Because usually, when you go on walks, when you meditate, when you're in the shower, when you're doing something that allows your brain to be fully free, right? Your brain is not thinking about something. So, you're not watching TV. You don't have to concentrate on the story. You're not watching memes. You don't have to concentrate on the post that you're seeing. When you're just doing something and you allow your mind to be like fully free, then you get ideas. Then you get like those life changing epiphanies. You get ideas for like new creative stuff. You get ideas for problems that you're trying to solve. This it's in those moments that if you were stuck on something or if you're trying to change something in your life, those are the moments that the answer will come to you. But if you spend most of your day in a distracted state, so on social media, watching TV, playing video games, like anything that is distracting you, like fully distracting you, then you will never get those life-changing moments. So this is why it may seem that you're like in a kind of in a state of no changes is happening to you. And it might be why. It might be because you're spending all of your day distracted and you're not really allowing your brain the opportunity to find the right answers to your question. So this is why it's so important that you allow your brain a lot of time in a day, like a lot of hours in a day. You allow your brain the opportunity to be like free, and it can be done in by doing activities that don't require any mental activities that don't require you to think that much, like meditation, going on walks, just cooking, cleaning, showering, like any activities that is not asking for your brain, like, okay, what should I do next? Should I go left? Should I go right? Should I scroll more? Should I like this post? Any activities that can be done on kind of an autopilot mode, those activities will allow your brain to have those moments. And if you want to advance in life, if you want to be a better version of yourself, you have to allow your brain to have those moments. Because for the past few days, I did not allow my brain at all to have those moments. And on my morning walk this morning, it was the first time since a couple of days that I finally allowed my brain to, think and to just give me solution to problems that I had. And it started giving me a lot of solutions because it's in a way, it was building up all those solutions in the background and it was just waiting for me to, okay, allow me to tell you the solutions. Like my brain was just begging me, begging me to have a moment to just begging me to have a moment where I was not thinking about anything so that it could give me the solution. But if I spent all of my day like in a distracted state, working or distracting myself or, like running around and not taking any time for me, then I would not get those solutions. So this is why, like, having those restful periods at the end of the day that allows you to think is part of being productive. Because how can you expect to change and to get the right solutions if you're in a constant state of work mode or just distraction mode, right? If your brain is engaged 24/7, how can you expect to get the solutions or how can you expect to get those life-changing moments that comes from having those internal discussions, right? It's not possible. It's not possible because your brain is occupied by doing other tasks. So this is why you just need sometimes to go on a walk, like do something that's not requiring any amount of efforts from your part. And I neglected that in the last few days, and I really realized just how important it was to to a lot of hours every single day. Just allow your brain to think freely for itself, and you'll start to get the solutions to all of your problems. Oh, I was thinking about something last week. Oh, that's the solution. I just thought about it. You'll start getting solutions to problem you're not even thinking. It'll just happen like that in your mind, and that's because you allowed your brain to not be occupied by something, like in the present moment. And finally, it's a time for your brain to be in the present moment, and it can just, start to solve all of your problems that you had. So this is why it's so important. Go if you have not implemented a period of time in your day when you're doing absolutely nothing, you're just relaxing. This is your sign to do it right now. So implement those periods of just relaxation time that where your brain can think for itself. And you'll see how truly life changing it is once you start doing it. So go do it right now. Like at this precise moment, schedule a time today for you to just think about nothing and allow your brain to be truly free. Do it right now.